Riley Gaines is an advocate against transgender women competing in women's sports. That includes swimming, where she tied in the 2022 200-yard NCAA championship with openly trans swimmer Leah Thomas, who also won the women's 500-yard freestyle.
My heart rate was still high. Having just competed, my adrenaline was still pumping. And so the first thing that I thought ended up being the first thing that I said. And the first thought that I had was, isn't this everything that Title IX was passed to prevent from happening?
Riley says her concerns aren't just with competition.
When you turn around, there's a 6'4", 22-year-old man, fully intact, fully exposing himself, inches away from where you were simultaneously fully undressed.
In March, she was one of 16 female athletes who launched a case against the NCAA over the participation of trans athletes.
Again, bigger than just women's sports, it means men would take academic and athletic scholarships away from women. Men would have full access to bathrooms, locker rooms, changing spaces on campuses. Men could be randomly housed in dorm rooms with women, which is happening here at North Dakota State University, mind you.
She visited NDSU as part of her Reclaim Feminism campus tour, bringing many people to the campus, including North Dakota Attorney General Drew Wrigley. While she was inside the Gate City Bank auditorium sharing her beliefs, two protesters also voiced their opinion. They held signs that said, "I support sore losers," and "No TERFs on Bison Turf." TERF is an acronym for Trans-Exclusive Radical Feminist. Riley says protests like these don't impact her.
My message to the people who come here to oppose me or who might have differing views than me, I welcome those individuals to come, because ultimately I think that's what we need. I think we need civil discourse. I think we need to encourage these discussions, and I would be more than happy to engage with anyone who has dissenting viewpoints.
She says she was a target of an assault by protesters in the spring of last year at an event similar to the one at NDSU.
I'm literally saying there are two sexes, and that you can't change your sex, and that each sex is deserving of equal opportunity, privacy, and safety. That's it.
Chris Hovden, Campus News. In the CMU, it almost looked like a snow day. But outside, it's because the Wi-Fi was widely unavailable for over 2 weeks.
It's frustrating to not be able to get our work done.
The university says this network outage was due to a ransomware attack.
So on February 1st, our IT folks noticed that there were some servers in our server room that were not performing as expected. So they went to check it out and realized that there was some sort of an attack on our network.
No ransom was paid in accordance with MSUM and Minnesota State's policies. The university implemented their incident response plan, taking the network completely offline.
Being a graphic design major, most of my work is online. I do a lot of work on my computer, and without internet, I can't really work on those things.
On top of these deadlines, many students still had assignments due, but they couldn't get to them on campus. Instead, they come to spots like this coffee shop in Moorhead.
The last week has been packed. People will come in, can't find a place to sit. We run out of pastries right away. Everybody typically stays here for anywhere from 2 hours to we've had people stay here for 6 hours.
IT released daily updates, calling the issue a significant network outage. They also stated that they've hired a third-party partner to investigate the outage. The partner advised MSUM to not share information early on into the investigation to prevent emboldening attackers and providing information that may not be true. Wired internet connection and other services were functional after a few days, but Wi-Fi remained widely unavailable for more than 2 weeks.
So recovery takes a lot of bandwidth, and so the bandwidth taken to restore services is competing with that Wi-Fi traffic. I know it's been disruptive, but I think one of the things, in challenging situations like this, you find out what you're made of, and dragons are definitely made of grit and heart.
Campus officials say policies will be reevaluated to prevent this happening in the future. Chris Hovden, Campus News. After the February arrest of this man, Blaze Blitz in connection with a counterfeiting operation that sold over 500 fake IDs to people in the Fargo-Moorhead area. Bars are keeping a close watch for fake IDs. The arrest came after bar owners have pleaded for help. One owner even coming to a Fargo Liquor Control Board meeting and dumping out a bag full of fake IDs they've collected.
I don't want everybody to see an idea of how many fake IDs or people who use other people's IDs we collect.
These are hundreds of IDs if you put them all together.
There's two types of fake IDs. There's ones that are pretty obvious to tell. They just are missing some of the trademark things that you know are on them, that the guidebooks tell you, those kind of things. But then some of them are really good and they're going to pass the scanners and the different detection devices anyways.
The Turf is a bar right across the street from the NDSU campus, making them a prime location for underage drinking.
Our door security guys basically study the fake ID guidebooks that are provided by a couple of our liquor representatives.
Police say fake IDs are more prevalent now than they have ever been, especially with the growth of the internet.
Getting one is simple. All you have to do is Google the words fake ID. In North Dakota, they're as cheap as $100.
Quite often when we see them is when bars turn them in when they've caught someone who has one. They'll oftentimes take the fake ID, send the person on their way. When they get a large collection of these fake IDs, they call us and then we come and pick them up.
To catch fake IDs, many bars are turning to electronic scanners. The issue? They cost roughly $1,500.
Overindulgence, not only by adults, but by people who are underage, create all kinds of situations, all kinds of assaults, puts people in all kinds of different dangerous situations.
Owning a fake ID itself isn't illegal, but using one at a bar or other liquor store can result in a Class B misdemeanor in North Dakota and up to a $1,000 fine and 90 days in jail in Minnesota. Chris Hovden, Campus News.